Hey, y'all! Happy Tuesday. Listen, welcome into the building. Okay, I'm off by a day. Happy Wednesday. I'm sorry, guys. Happy Wednesday. I'm off by a day. Okay, listen. It is Trending Topics Wednesday, and we're gonna get into it. And today's Trending Topics is called "Something's Missing." Something's missing. Diddy's ex-nanny, who was 10 toes down, who was on his neck just last week saying his lawyers neglected to send discovery information that her lawyers been waiting for weeks. Then all of a sudden, poof, like that, she drops the lawsuit. Sounds like Diddy settled to me. And maybe right now he's behind the scenes settling the rest of his lawsuits. One of his lawsuits was today, the 10th, in 2 days. One of them between one of the people that is accusing him of SA. He got 2 days to respond to that lawsuit. Probably by the 12th, we're going to hear that lawsuit all of a sudden went away. I think behind the scenes, him and his lawyers, they working out deal after deal after deal. And that's why he probably sold all of his shares to Revolt TV so he could have cash on hands. And he just got the money lined up. How much that one want? No, take off 10 million from there so I could throw it over here. Now, I'm just making up numbers. I'm not saying that, so I'm just making this up in my head. But it's pretty strange that just the other day she was ready to have him sanctioned because he didn't give the discovery information. Come on, Amy, he writing them checks. You better go ahead with that emoji. I love it. He writing them checks. He going down the line and writing the checks. Little Rodney, though, I don't think he gonna write a check for Little Rodney. I think Little Rodney and him, they gonna go toe to toe. And he might win, not because of innocence or guilt, but because of the simple fact that Little Rodney's lawyer is trash. So yeah, Diddy writing them checks. Because all of a sudden, she took her lawsuit back. We're going to talk about it. It's because something's missing. Then we got this bus aide. I never understand why somebody will sign up to work with the kids, but they don't like the kids. It just doesn't make sense to me. This bus aide was literally on the bus, just busting down the kids. Slapping them, punching them, elbowing them. The bus aide. Yeah, she was. The kids was coming home with bruises unexplained. And these were special needs kids. These kids had autism. And the parents couldn't figure out, like, what, did you fall? Where did that come from? And the one parent, the kid was nonverbal. But then the parents got a video. And they saw the aide doing the elbow and all of that. Well, that aide got arrested. And they need to throw her up underneath the cell. Something's missing because she got to be crazy. But we'll talk about it. Then we got this cruise passenger. A family went on a cruise. It was with the dad's job. So they're on the cruise, and on the cruise, you're supposed to be having fun. So it was a husband and wife, and they had 2 sons. One of the sons, he got a little toasty. Guess he was on a cruise just throwing it back, throwing it back, throwing it back. Got a little toasty. Him and dad got into an argument, and off the 11th floor, this kid jumped off the cruise ship. It's very sad. To this day, they have not found him. Couldn't find him. They called everybody looking for him once he went overboard. Could not find him. Something's missing, though. Because you don't just go on a cruise, have a lot to drink, get into it with your dad, and then you just jump. Something's missing. And the family needs to tell us something. Something's missing. He had to be going through a little something before you even got on that cruise ship. Something doesn't sound right. There's a piece missing. But we're going to talk about it. Yes, we are. So it's Wednesday. And it's trending topics. And I hope as you're coming through the building, you're hitting the like button. Because that's all you got to do. Hit the like button. No, he jumped in front of the dad and his brother. So, no, the dad didn't push him. That's why I'm saying something's missing. We missing a piece of this story. Yes, pieces are missing, Amy. Yeah, we need the backstory. You better come on. Something's not right. You can't tell me that just because if your kid got drunk on the cruise, that means most likely that kid was a drinker before he even went on that cruise. So something is amiss. Something's missing. But we're going to talk about it. Because it's Wednesday and it's trending topics. And tonight's trending topics is called Something's Missing. Roberta said Little Ronnie got receipts. Yeah, he got receipts, but the problem with Little Ronnie receipts is he's just as guilty as the people he's saying is guilty. I mean, it's like me, I see 5 of my friends rob the bank and I'm just filming it and I don't say nothing. But months later, because they didn't give me my cut, now I'm going to sue them and say, hey, look at all the bad things they did. But meantime, I was watching it. Little Ronnie said he was going a year back and forth, living with Diddy for a year. And he got all this stuff on film. How many hours of footage do you need before you go to the cops and say there's some criminal activity going on? It don't make sense to me. He said he got hours and hours and hours and hours of footage. So you stayed and just kept recording? But with that, something's missing. Then, so now, what's his name? King Combs, Christian Combs, one and the same. King is his stage name. He's being sued for SA. And Little Ronnie got the footage for that on audio. So once again, Little Ronnie, you done witnessed about 17 different crimes and you never went to the po-po in real time. Something's missing. So his hand's not clean. We got the swab and fingerprint Little Ronnie's hands because his hands was everywhere. It was all up in it. I forgot where he said they went, what state they went to. And Little Ronnie said Diddy made him put on a bad boy's cap and go to the club. And he said, once you walk in there with that cap on, the people going to know I'm in town and it's party time. Little Ronnie did it. Was you forced to do all these things, Little Ronnie? If somebody got Little Ronnie's phone number, tell them give me a call. Tell Little Ronnie Diva want to talk to him. I just got some questions. That's it. I got some questions for Little Ronnie. Come over, holler at us, Little Ronnie, because we got a couple of questions for you. We've been trying to put these pieces of the puzzle together and something ain't adding up. He said Cuba Gooding Jr. done felt him up. Once you saw that this environment was toxic, why do you continue to return again? And not only return, you was recording it. I don't know. Little Ronnie was okay with a lot. But come on now, but the problem came, you hit the nail on the head, Nika. But the minute he didn't get a check, that's when everything came clear to him. that everything he saw was criminal and it was problems. But if he would have got paid, everything he would have saw on all the footage, it wouldn't have been nothing. Little Ronnie, please. Please, little Ronnie, please. Yeah, they not looking for the big fishes. They know who the big fishes are already. They just trying to figure out what big fish will they take down to send a message to them all. They already know everything they need to know. Just like they knew everything they need to know with Epstein, Weinstein, they know everything they need to know with Diddy. And they knew it before they raided his house. Cassie had her own tapes that she submitted and gave him before they even raided his house. But we're not going to backtrack because Diddy, it's like Diddy. The whole month of March, Diddy. January, Diddy. February, Diddy. March, Diddy. And now we still on Diddy, and it's April. I mean, is 2024 going to be the year of Diddy? It's a lot. But I have a feeling that whichever lawsuits he can, depending upon how much cash he has on hand, he's going to try to settle it. Because like I said, he got 2 days to answer one of them. He got 2 days to respond. So we're going to see if that one happens to be dismissed also, or if he will respond. But he got 2 days. Anyway, guys, you know what I need in the chat, right? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night trending topics, and we are saying that something's missing, okay? And we're talking about Diddy's ex-nanny. After all of that smoke, she done dropped her lawsuit. We're going to talk about this bus aide. She's despicable, disgraceful, no morals, should have never been working with kids, ever. Matter of fact, she need a work from home job. She shouldn't even be in society. What is wrong with her? She's sick. We're going to talk about her. Then we're going to talk about the cruise passenger who decided to take an 11-foot leap. Now his family can't even bury him with his body because they couldn't find it. The last I read. Anyway, guys, I'm going to bring the people on in the building. Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva.
Diva. Choo choo.
Choo choo. Hey, Keisha. Hey, E. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Julius.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo choo.
Hey, Ray. All right, people.
Hello.
So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. And because I know y'all sick of it, I'm going to just go ahead and start with Diddy so we can knock it on out the way. Now, he got lawsuit after lawsuit. I mean, I don't think I ever witnessed anybody with this many lawsuits. But he got them a-coming. And this one, though, he got 99 lawsuits, but this is no longer one, okay? So Diddy's ex-nanny, who claimed to be late Kim Porter's niece, drops a bombshell wrongful termination lawsuit against Diddy. So she dropped it. Diddy's ex-nanny dismissed the lawsuit she filed against him, Battle Mogul, only months after demanding he be sanctioned for allegedly refusing to turn over documents. According to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, Raven Walden, who worked for Diddy from 2018 to 2020, informed the court she was dismissing her entire case with prejudice. The move comes after Diddy was hit with multiple lawsuits over alleged SA, and the FBI launched a ST investigation that included raids of the mogul's homes. As previously first reported, her lawsuit, Raven claims she was hired after Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, died. She said she was asked to help take care of Kim and Diddy's twins, Jesse James and Delilah. Raven says she moved into Diddy's LA mansion and became close with his family. However, she said things went south after she informed Diddy and his team that she was pregnant. The ex-nanny says she was fired. Raven said she was told Diddy thinks it wasn't a good example for his daughters to be around an unwed pregnant woman. Her lawsuit demanded unspecified damages. You know, he got the nerve to try to have some morals. He seems like the most unmoral person there is, but you know what I'm starting to think? He has two sides to him. He has the side that I guess, when he's being a family man, and then he has the sinister side. So Diddy's rep called the lawsuit a Maryland's shakedown. The mogul admitted he hired Raven, but denied her position was meant to be long-term. His rep said her babysitting services was always intended to be temporary, especially since the girls were getting older and spending much of their day at school. In response, Diddy also denies Raven was Kim's biological niece. His lawyers argue Raven was terminated for failing to do her job properly, not due to her pregnancy. Well, I mean, what could she have been doing wrong when the girls out of his own mouth was in school most of the day? Diddy argued Raven's claims should be dismissed due to her failure to satisfactorily perform her job responsibilities and otherwise conduct herself in accordance with the standards and policies of Combs' defendants. He claimed the decision to terminate Raven was not discriminatory. Diddy and Raven had been going back and forth during the discovery phase. Raven claimed Diddy and his team were dragging their feet and turning over documents and information. A lawyer said defendants have been completely evasive in their discovery responses. She demanded $5,000 in sanctions. Diddy denied the claims and said he had produced all the necessary information. His lawyer said instead of filing the motion and wasting courts and party resources, Raven should have consulted with Diddy on the production schedule in order to understand when they would be producing the documents they committed to. Sanctions are not warranted under these circumstances because the documents sought had been produced. The motion was irrelevant to Diddy's production, and Raven's counsel manufactured a dispute that did not exist. Now the matter is moot. Diddy has been laying low in Miami, has yet to speak about the dismissal. You know, there's more, but the rest is like repeated information. I feel he paid her off. But you know, it just talks about it being dismissed. In my opinion, what are your thoughts?
Diddy is disgusting and a scumbag that unfortunately has money to pay people off.
Well, thank you. In my opinion, I appreciate you. Wayne, you're up.
Um, you know, I mean, the alleged lives that Diddy was associated with and taking, and I'm thinking it's possible that Lil Rod could have had Stockholm syndrome, and that's why he stayed, because he was scared, and um, which and it's happened before. The other thing is that regardless of whether he filmed it and he saw it and stuff like that, he don't he did he even if he's guilty of all
Is it me, Wayne? I lost you.
It ain't you, Diva. I'm lost.
Okay. All right. Let me move on to Katrina because we kind of lost Wayne sound from Wayne. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, I think what you said was correct. I think she got a payday because she dropped that suit mighty fast. So she's been paid off. And the thing with Lil Rodney, yeah, he might have had Stockholm syndrome, but I'm thinking like all of them are guilty because all of them sat around and seen what this man was doing from Gene Deal to everybody. They saw it, and then once, like I said before, once they didn't get what they want, they went to they told. And like I said, Rodney had his little salad tossed and didn't get paid. So imagine he's still mad about that. So the thing of it is, they're paid. Did it paying these people? Hopefully he'll pay off Lil Rodney and whatsoever. Because Diddy been discussed ever since what November of last year, and he's still going strong. YouTube making a lot of money off of him. But hopefully everything will come into justice and we can have some peace from Diddy because we're gonna have to detox. That's all, y'all.
I know that's right. Detox. E, you're
Can you
up.
hear me, Diva? Oh,
Oh, I'll come back to you, Wayne. Yeah. Oh,
okay.
go. Oh, go ahead, Wayne. Before I go to E, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say my phone it rang and it's kind of cut the connection. Sorry about that. But I was going to say that aside from if he's guilty of say he saw it, he's whatever. Regardless, uh, if Diddy allegedly did this stuff, he guilty. Okay, and so I don't care what Lil Rod he filmed, he did all that. That's another case altogether. Just like Patty Hearst, she had another case altogether. If y'all remember, oh, they may not remember Patty Hearst, but she had suffered from the Stockholm syndrome. That's what they used. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, if this man, I mean, he's seen somebody allegedly get shot in the bathroom,
Pow
Kim
pow.
Porter, all this stuff. You didn't seen this, okay? And people like you said, he told him to wear a hat and go in the club. I mean, he may have been scared that if he didn't go in there with the hat, the club, that he was going to be off. To see what this man can do. I mean, he's seen that's enough to scare you half to death. If you've seen somebody got shot, you didn't seen blood.
Wayne, with the pow pow, not yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I mean, he could have been that scared. I don't know because I've never been in that position. Hope I never get involved in anything like that. But that's what I'm thinking. It could have been that. But regardless, he ain't Diddy. He ain't Diddy. And they can go after him later. Because all this stuff, because I'm kind of seeing stuff on the transcripts of all that. And it's pretty damning. So what Diddy need to get with Lil Rod and see if he can do a Cassie. Don't take it no further. Settle with all the other people. And some of them other people, I think they can get by with frivolous lawsuits. Hey, give you $1 million. If you ain't never had $1 million, that's a lot of money. Even after the lawyer get his part. You know what I mean? Sell them low, get them low, because if they not, you can tell if somebody who wants a big paycheck because they don't know. If they say, I'm suing Diddy for $3 million. Well, $3 million ain't a whole lot of money, and Diddy could probably say, "Well, look, I give you 150." So I think he got some he can work with and do these little small payouts. Look, sign this, we done. Here go your money. But Lil Rod, if he's smart, he'll do a Cassie, and it won't go no further. I won't say it won't go no further because if they got the trafficking charges and stuff like that, but that's the start.
All right. Thank you, Wayne. E, you're up. Are you there, E? All right. Felicia, do you want to pass?
Well, no, not really, because I do want. Hey, good evening, everybody. I love everyone. Thank you so much. Listen, I want to give a shout out to the nanny. So, hallelujah, amen. Somebody got paid, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful because I remember that lawsuit. He hadn't compensated her, and remember they took her on vacation. And he had her watching the twins, baby love, everybody, 23 hours. Oh, God.
She was working. She was working.
Mm-hmm. She was working. And remember, wasn't she the one that got a little angry or something? And said she had to go home or something, and they made her pay her ticket.
That was a different one. That was a different one.
Okay. So she didn't have to pay her ticket home, but somebody did. So I'm really happy to hear that she has been compensated for her labor. She probably got something for wrongful termination because of the statement that was made about her being pregnant and unwed. And I agree with you. As people present their suits, whoever he can pay off, he's going to pay off and try to put behind him.
Mhm.
And as the article said, it was closed with prejudice, which means it's final. You're
That's
not
it.
coming back.
Come back.
Right. You're not coming back with any more claims or any more challenges to that decision. So congratulations to her. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you for explaining that piece there. It's a done deal. So whatever she got, she was happy with it. But it's a wrap. She can't come back and say anything. E, are you there? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Julius, you're up.
Pass.
Thank you. Tay, you're up.
I say I agree with everybody. That's all.
Thank you, Tay. I appreciate you. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and roll right into the next story, which is actually really sad and disturbing. This is the one where the bus aide, she was abusing the kids on the bus, and they had autism. It's just very sad. So let me just show you the video first, and then we'll go into it a little bit more. Let me just make sure I have it. Okay, I think this is it.
That it'll force change. Their son, young boy want you to see in hopes that it'll force change. Their son gets beaten on a school bus. Now an aide on that bus, Kiara Jones, faces assault charges. This family feels the Littleton School District didn't do enough when they first started noticing injuries on their son. Good evening, I'm Mikaela White.
And I'm Michael Spencer. The parents wanted to share their story and the video with your reporter, Kelly Worthman, who joins us now live in studio.
And Kelly, that video is so difficult to watch.
Yes, it is. And the parents want to know, if that doesn't make you angry, what will? You have fractured bones, a knocked out tooth, deep bruises, and immeasurable heartache. Those are just some of the injuries to at least 3 students, allegedly at the hands of a woman trusted to care for them. The kids take a special bus provided by the Littleton school system to get to one of Colorado's most highly regarded private schools for students with autism. Yet as their parents discovered, they say that bus was a place of torture.
My sweet and loving son.
Fighting back tears, a father is overwhelmed with emotion, almost unable to share the unthinkable that his little boy endured on the way to school.
Had been being beaten.
His 10-year-old son, Dax, has severe autism and is nonverbal, so he couldn't tell his parents that the caretaker he sits next to on the bus punches, jabs, stomps, and smacks him.
The torture and torment of my sweet boy could have been stopped.
Dax's mom says she noticed strange bumps and bruises on her son months ago, but Littleton Public Schools told her there was nothing to be concerned about. Then her son's injuries became worse, and that's what led to her obtaining this disturbing video of her son's unprovoked assault on March 18th.
How could someone that I trusted, someone that I was so friendly with, do this to my little boy?
In a letter to district families, the superintendent says an internal investigation began March 19th, and they notified police. It led to the arrest of 29-year-old Kiara Jones and the unsettling discovery the paraprofessional was allegedly abusing other kids like Dax.
My son does not have the ability to tell me when someone's hurting him. My son does not have the ability to tell me that he was forced to watch someone hurt his friends.
Now, parents of 3 young students are prepared to sue, saying Littleton Public Schools knew about their abuse concerns for months and seemingly turned a blind eye.
They had everything they needed to stop it faster, and they did. These children have been traumatized and tortured because they failed them.
A failure, Jess says, that's blatantly obvious in this alarming video, one she's sharing without blurring her son's face to show what her son could not say.
It's ugly to look at, but it's important to see how confused and afraid he was in that video.
So one thing we're going to keep looking into is how the investigations played out. Both Englewood Police, the police department, and the school district all saying today they've been investigating for weeks and do worry about other victims. But they didn't make any public statements until today. However, these parents, Mac and Michael, have been raising concerns since September.
And Kelly, we know you've been looking into this extensively. Is this the only case?
Well, sadly, it's not. Littleton is actually the third known district to have similar cases. There was another in Poudre Valley School District, as well as the St. Vrain School District, all involving students with disabilities on their school buses. In the St. Vrain case, both the bus aide and the bus driver were convicted. So, McKelly, again, this is something we're going to keep a close eye on.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much.
So sad. So sad. In my opinion,
this story is very hard for me to listen to because I am a mom of 2 ASD children.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people understand that this disability is a developmental disability that affects their brain. So while other kids can communicate appropriately, tell you how they feel, ASD kids can't. Even the ones that are verbal can only tell you to a certain instinct what is bothering them. It's sad to know that somebody that is being entrusted to take care of your kids and get them home safely is sitting here every day abusing your kids. And for months, these parents have been saying, my children are coming home with bruises. What's happening to them? And this lady was making up excuses of, oh, he hit himself with a toy in the eye. Oh, he stumped his toe getting on the bus. We'll fix this. He bumped his head on the seat. These are things that an autistic kid would do, which was the reason why they probably let it go on longer. But to know that it was video this whole time, and the school that was supposed to be investigating, the police that was supposed to be investigating, the school that was supposed to be investigating, none of them found this. But it was only when the parents last month asked to see the bus surveillance did we get this video that happened in March. But for all these months that y'all been investigating, y'all didn't find this video? You get out. That is the sad part. This is when we need to stand up and say, this is an outrage.
yeah. Thank you, in my opinion. So sad. Wayne, you're up.
You know, my heart darn near dropped when I saw the person.
Mm.
And all I could say is that we don't do that. I mean, you know, some communities, you know, you can associate with certain things. Like, for instance, white men, 30, 35, whatever, commit more self-unaliving than any other group of people. Okay? So certain things you can put on, on certain people, but this is like, we don't do this. Y'all don't do that. So I'm not saying that we can't, don't get me wrong. I just felt so bad when I saw the person. I raised an autistic child, my grandson. Okay, he's fine now. He grew out a lot of his more emotional and educational or learning. You know what I mean? But I know, how autistic children, are, and I just can't imagine, the rage. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to, say, what I would have done or whatever, nothing like that, because it's more hurtful that an adult can do that to an innocent child. I'm wondering if she got problems, got some issues herself. You know, I'm wondering she got something, you know, not wide right up there, because they were sitting down and unprovoked, pop. I mean, who does that? So I think she got some problems herself. She may have be on the spectrum. You never know. But it's really sad, and it's sad that it took that long. And because he couldn't communicate, you know. But I would say, if they said it's nothing to worry about, usually when children with autism, when they do stuff like that, like maybe inflict injury on themselves or whatever, might be a response. You would see it. You know, they might act out in front of you. So I can't believe that this child was someplace unattended, acting out. Nobody said it. You know, when they send when they send those notes home at the end of the day, at least when my grandson was in school, they would send documentations if there was an incident, if something happened. You know, Jordan did this today. You know, blah 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 blah. You know, so forth and so on. So, I mean, to cover it up that long, you know, I mean that's the sad part about it. That the young man, the child had to endure it that long. That's a long time to get knocked around. I'm done.
Julius, you're up.
This triggered me. This reminded me of my elementary school teacher, lead teacher, not even a parent. Yes, I am autistic. It reminded me of going through the discrimination, not only from her, but from the principal as well. I thank my village for always telling me, not only do men, you know what, women do as well. I had to take the time to get my thoughts together, because I seen myself in that little non-verbal boy who couldn't even defend himself. I know that feeling. Someone who you're supposed to trust and they mistreat you. I remember when my teacher told me in front of the whole entire class I wouldn't amount to anything or be anything. I proved her wrong. It is a problem. I hope that bimboing witch gets locked up. I don't care what's wrong with her. What she did was unprovoked. Let me say that word again. Unprovoked. And I hope she gets the consequences. I'm done.
I appreciate you, Julius. Thank you so much for sharing. Katrina, you're up.
Hey, Diva, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, something's wrong with that woman. She has a black heart, and all her brain circuits is not reaching to the top. That is ridiculous. And I'm trying to figure out, why haven't they pulled the surveillance when they first complained about this? They should have pulled the tapes then, because I'm quite sure the buses have videotape. They should have pulled that then, and then they would have seen what was going on, and she wouldn't have been abusing these kids for so long. That is ridiculous. That is pathetic. There was a daycare teacher here that killed a infant at a daycare center.
You gotta
I
watch.
worked at a daycare center, and
Katrina,
I know how the parents treat the
Katrina,
kids when the parents leave. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. That's why
Katrina, you gotta watch your words. I muted you real quick. You gotta watch your words.
children with.
Hello? All right, Felicia, you're up.
All right. First, let me say, Julius, I'm so sorry for what you had to experience. Really am. Kiera. I don't want to hear about no GoFundMe. I don't want to hear that the bail is too high. I don't want to hear that she's a first-time offender. I don't want to hear that she grew up in a household like that. I don't want to hear any of it. I want her to be punished. I want her to be charged. I understand she was charged with third-degree assault and something else. Let me get it right. She was charged. Yeah, third-degree assault against at-risk juveniles. And crimes against at-risk juvenile injury. Yeah. So she's done a lot of harm, right? The striking, the punching, the stomping, black eye, broken toe, lost tooth, bruises, scratches. She would stomp the child's foot. When you see her jerking like that, she's stomping her foot on top of their foot. And may God have mercy on her. That the time she serves, she can be rehabilitated and she can understand what she's done wrong. This is, when I talk about children being loved and protected, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. If your child isn't at home running into walls and picking up their face and stuff, don't necessarily believe the predators that surround them. I don't care how much they're smiling in your face. What that mama say to us? She was a friend of ours. Did you hear that woman use that word?
I did. So I trusted her.
Everybody is not your friend. I don't care if you're at work. I don't care if you're at church. I don't care if you're in the school building. These people are not your friends, and they're not your children's friends. And especially when you have young children who cannot communicate well. Be ever vigilant. Keep asking. Mimic. Find some kind of way for them to tell you what is happening. I'm gathering that perhaps the bus driver gave the tape. Maybe one of them fathers who could barely hold it together jumped up there and grabbed the tape from the bus or something. Because this was going on for 6 months. That little baby in the corner of the bus, and she's got that baby backed up by that window, beating him all the way to school. No. And Wayne, I love you. I love you and respect you. But yeah, it's us too. Yeah. This ain't no single race, single economic issue. Predators are everywhere. Everywhere. And we need to end it. I'm so sorry for this family.
Me too.
I'm so sorry for these families.
She sure did. She preyed on the vulnerable population, and she played in that mother's face. Mother's thinking her baby is fine and protected, and she trusted that woman. And the whole time, as soon as she got on the bus, she was beating her son down. 48, you're in the building. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Diva, what's up, panel? I agree with everybody with the sentiments of like feeling bad, but I want to talk about punishment and consequences. Like I feel like you know how they're doing like police reform and stuff like that. It needs to be some kind of automatic group in every school to protect these kids. Like if as soon as it's a complaint, even if it's found it not to be true, because you know some things could be exaggerated, it needs to be a group of individuals that are biased who will get this information out to the parents and to the public who needs to know. Now, this makes me want third world consequences. Like in Iran, when they stoned you to death, they should have pulled that hoe off the bus and stoned her for doing them to them kids that can't talk, can't fight for themselves, can't tell their parents. It burns me up. Like, Diva, I had to like come on the panel just for this because I had to get the anger out of my voice. Like, something needs to happen. I'm tired of these people doing these to these kids, and it ain't no consequences. They need to get people need to put hands on these folks. You know why this stuff don't happen in the other countries? Because they will get stoned, they will get beat. People will come into your home and take you out for putting your hands on their kids. It's just getting too much. Julius, boo, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I hope that everything worked out for the better for you. But it's happening too many times to these kids. And I'm just pissed about it. But we really do need to come together as a community of parents, regardless of color, any of that. Parents, it's a form of bullying. It is a form of, like, I want to get arrested. You know that movie when that black dude got arrested to go to jail to find the dude that unalived his kid and beat the hell out of the other guy? That's what I want to do. That's how angry I am. Then to see her big black, to see her up there beating on a little child. I'm done, Diva. That's all I wanted to say.
No, I appreciate you for coming through, and you're fine. I appreciate you for coming through, because this is sick. She what was wrong with her? And she just kept just going crazy. Love is Mimi. This is a good idea. And it's a shame you have to go through all these shots. Take before and after pictures on the bus, off the bus, and monitor videos daily.
Diva, can I say something real quick?
Yes, you can.
You know, sometimes I'm just wondering if this girl, you know, people look at other people and think they have so much and jealous of them because of what they have. And then they take it out on your family member. It almost seems like she was trying to get, like she felt some revenge or something. That's all. It just.
Can I say something?
It ain't no excuse for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can't make no excuses because you can't give them no space. You can't give them no yard, nothing.
ASD kids are the sweetest kids. They are. They love to be loved on. They love attention. They just don't know how to say it. The things that they do, even when they acting out, is for attention. Their brain just don't know how to tell them to ask for it. They do stuff. If they play with their hands, they sit there. They make little googly noises. They may throw a toy, but it's all to get your attention. They are the most lovable kids I would ever meet. You meet anybody that has an autistic kid, they tell you that child is the most caring, the most loving. My boys sit here and rub my back because they have a touch sensory. That stuff puts me to sleep. It is the best sleep of my life. They don't even understand. The joy that they getting out of touching it is the joy I get out of going to sleep. Okay? Like, I don't understand how you can sit here and abuse a child, a helpless child. They can't speak up for themselves, can't say that you're hurting them. You know you're hurting them. You're a grown adult. Don't take a job around kids if you can't do it.
And can I say one more thing, Diva?
Of course, yes.
I also have an autistic son. My son graduates. He's going to college.
Nice.
But I always tell my son that, and everybody should tell their children this, but I really do feel that autistic kids are a special gift from God. They make you get in touch with things and they make you become better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that I would be who I am if it wasn't for my oldest son. And to see the things that he had to overcome dealing with a mom like me and being able to go to college and have a disability and know that he is great and I could talk to him. It just breaks my heart to know that this kid could not tell his parents that someone was hurting him. And it was no other kid on the bus that could speak up and say, hey, mom, you know, I saw such and such getting hurt today. It just breaks my heart because I go all out for mine. Like the lady in the chat said, it couldn't have been me, Lord. It couldn't have been me. The Lord know what to give you. And he know who he protected. Because Lord knows I would have took a life, Diva. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, this story, and just to see the video, and you know, the first of all, when you see a man break down and cry, he said, "My boy."
Diva, can I share real quick?
Give me a minute, though, Julius. Yes, you can. Give me a minute. So to see that man break down and cry, and the bravery of the mother to say, "I wanted y'all to see my son's face," because she wants us to never forget. And she wants everybody to see the impact that it had on her son. It's not like he was even raising his hands to try to fight back. He was crunched up, like Felicia said, in the corner by the window. And then I didn't even realize that. Thanks for telling Felicia that this girl, because I was like, well, Dad, when did his foot knock his tooth out? And this, now he got to
negotiate. She was elbowing him, Diva.
I know she was elbowing, but then he's gonna associate in his brain going to school in this harm. She destroyed even his innocence of just going to school on a bus. And you stomping your feet, and then you really confuse him because you smiling in his parents' face. She's trash. Julius, what did you want to say?
I just wanted to say, this is kind of like a good ending to my story. And I say this because my dad, he just retired from working in the medical field. And one day he actually had to take care of my said teacher who I talked about. Now, she acted like she didn't know who he was. Now when her wife came in, you know, she said, "Hello, how you doing?" She's like, "Why you acting like that with John? Like, what's going on?" And he said, "Well, she knows who I am because she was my son's teacher." And she asked my name. And she looked away still. Listen, people know. And karma, when you least expect it, it will come to you. So what you do in this life, it will have consequences coming your way, no matter good or bad. But if you choose to do bad, I don't even have any kind of apologies for you, especially when it comes to harming children.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to move forward to the next story. Praying for all the families.
Diva, you skipped me.
Sorry, Tay. Give me a minute. Okay, I'll come to you. I'm praying for all the families that, you know, are impacted by this situation. And that woman needs to be up underneath the jail. Tay, go ahead. Your comments on this story?
I'm going to make this real quick. How dare you put your hand on this baby right here? Why? Because he's different like everybody else? How dare you? I hope she faced time. That's all. And I agree with everybody, too.
Thank you, Tay. I appreciate you. All right. We're going to go ahead and roll into this last story. And this last story, you know, something is missing from this story. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate because the young man ended up losing his life. But there's some in between of this that is just not being told, so to speak. So, cruise passenger who jumped to his unaliving from a ship ID as Florida resident who argued with his dad before he leaked. And that is him right there. He kind of like, you know, the outside life. I'll just play this video because it's not too much to it. this. Okay, so the 20-year-old passenger who jumped off a Royal Caribbean cruise last week after an argument with his dad has been identified as a former high school football player and an avid hunter living in Florida. I don't want to mess up his name, but I'm going to call his last name Parker of Northport, Florida, has been missing since he jumped overboard April 4th in front of his brother and father on the cruise to Cuba in the Bahamas. In Broward County Sheriff's Office said Wednesday. The release of his identity comes shortly after the Coast Guard called off its search for Parker. Social media posts show Parker often went on hunting and fishing trips. He also played football for Northport High School before he graduated in 2022, according to the Daily Mail. Parker jumped off the 18-story Liberty of the Seas after reportedly getting into an argument with his father. That's the family right there. The mom, the dad, his brother, and this is him on the end with like the plaid shirt, checkered shirt there, the one that unfortunately jumped that day. That's him again. That's him with his grandfather. And that's the cruise ship. Parker's father was fussing at him for being drunk. Fellow passenger Brian Sims told the Post, when we got to them, he said to his dad, "I'll fix it right now." And then he jumped out the window in front of us all, Sims said. He was pretty drunk, Sims added. And that's one of the passengers on the ships that became friends with him and his brother. And he gave the Post that information. Sims hung out with Parker and his brother Seth, 18, in the hot tub in the early hours of April before going their separate ways around 4 a.m. After Sims had used the restroom and dried off, he headed towards the elevators. On his way there, he noticed the two brothers and their dad, Frankel Parker, coming out of the sliding doors near the elevators. As we were walking from the hot tub back to the elevators, his dad and brother were walking towards us. His dad was fussing at him for being drunk, I guess, Sims said of the moment before Parker jumped. Royal Caribbean said it immediately launched search boats to look for him and help from the U.S. Coast Guard. Parker's father owns an air conditioning company, and the family was cruising on a boat as guests of the Tropic Supply, a Florida-based air conditioning wholesale company. Tropic Supply had invited dozens of contractors to mark the company's 50th anniversary, according to the Daily Mail. It's just very sad. The Post has reached out to the family for a comment. Nearly 400 people have gone overboard on major cruise lines between 2000 and 2020, according to the Washington Post. As many cases are often deadly, many cruise ship lines have installed surveillance cameras and employed additional safety measures to help reduce the risk. So if you have any thoughts of, unaliving yourself, please call the hotline, and the hotline is 988, and please get help. It seems like it's so much more to this story that perhaps the young man was struggling before they even went on this cruise. As I go around to you and you make your comments on this, please, please, please watch your words. Please watch your words. In my opinion, you're up. And Uncle Jay, I did not see that story. I will look into it, though. Oh, that's sad. I'll look into it. In my opinion, your thoughts?
I'm praying for his family. That's pretty much all I got on this one, Diva.
Yeah, no problem. I understand. It's a rough night. Felicia, your thoughts?
Oh, my condolences to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a special 50th anniversary cruise, and you think this is going to be a wonderful family gathering. And it literally becomes a tragedy over words. I don't want to speak for these folks, but sometimes you got to know, let it lay for right now. We'll deal with it tomorrow. You have a child, an adult child almost, because he's 18. Yeah. Beautiful boy, beautiful son. and you know he's under the influence, but you don't know exactly what he's under. You don't know, you know, they're moving around the ship in and out back. You just don't really know. But you know that whatever it is, it's too much. It is 4:00 in the morning. Do I really need to have this discussion right now, or do I need him and us to be safe, and we're going to talk about this in the morning? You know, this is what, I don't know about you folks, but me and my friends talk about pause and pray. What am I doing right now? What's happening right now? It's all these emotions, all these feelings. I didn't get no sleep. You're up all night. Your brother come to me and say you're down there drinking too much or getting high. I need, you know, God. And here you are living still, and you're probably beating yourself up. Why didn't I just be quiet?
Oh my gosh.
Why didn't I just let his mother go? Because now there's always this rift, this big hurt here, this brokenness now with my wife. Right? Because our baby's gone, and we don't even know where. We don't know. So this story is aligned with the previous one. We need to be paying attention. We need to be communicating clearly. We going on a cruise. We know we got an open bar. You're really not allowed to be drinking. If you're going to be drinking, you got to stop drinking by midnight. I expect you in the room by 1. I mean, even though they're big and even though they appear to be somewhat like adults, they're just not. They still need to be loved and protected.
Yeah, come on, talk.
Okay, they still need to be guided. They still need to know that there are rules and regulations, but they don't need to be getting them perhaps when they're intoxicated, too stinking out of their head. They have no reason. They're not reasonable. They're not clear. And you done said something that you done said too many times, and they react. They think maybe they can swim. They'll dive off. They're going to swim, and they don't come back. Oh my God, that would be, oh God. Oh God, I couldn't live with that. Not my son, my children. Over a cruise that we were supposed to have a good time on. God be with them.
Yeah.
God be with these families. I'm so sorry.
48, you're up.
Well, it's sad for sure. But it kind of reminds me of the Murdoch trials. It just seems like if you know your kid is kind of like not in a good space, you know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't have invited him to go. If he's got an alcohol problem, I wouldn't encourage him to drink. I'm just a different kind of parent, you know what I'm saying? So like, to me, it just doesn't make all the way sense to me yet. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I understand that, but I appreciate you. I like what you said though, Felicia. I caught it when you threw it out there. Pause and pray. You know what? Maybe it's not. I've been learning myself. Listen, all of us, you know, there's no perfect parent. And so we definitely not saying that, but I learn every day. Son's 18, he'll be 19 this year, but I still learn every day. The other day, something happened. I wanted to say something right then, but I said, God, help me, just wait. And I kept my mouth shut. And I didn't talk about it till 2 days later. And I thank God that I didn't. So I like that. That hit me right where it needed to. Pause and pray. Sometimes, you know, we just want to do it in real time right there. Hold on and hold off a minute. And I do, go ahead, Felicia.
And thank you for that, Diva, because I have sons and I have daughters. I've had a couple come home under the influence, and I'm looking at them saying, "Who is this?
Come on, talk. Let's do real talk. Come on, I love
Who
it.
is this?
Mhm.
What's happening here?" So I could have went into that whole piece about, oh, I'm the mother. We got rules. I told you. But I realized this person I'm looking at is not the person that I know them to be. So I had to pause and begin to pray so that I could bring my emotions down so I could communicate with my son. And then I called up his father and I said to him, because we were divorced at the time, I said, I want you to receive this call like I just told you our son got hit by a car. This is what I'm experiencing. So you need to get here right now. So his father came and calmed him down, got him to go to sleep, and then we all talked about it the next day. What actions may be necessary? What happened yesterday? How long has this been going on? And I'm telling all of you, I know for sure, I'm not doing that on a 3,600 passenger ship in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. We're just not. We're just not. We're going to find some other way to get through this safely and address it when we get home.
Right. So I just want to let everybody know, a lot when we talk here, is never to shame anybody, but it's to give tips so that if you encounter this situation ever, you may have in your head, you know what, let me pause 1 minute and pray. Let me think about this. Let me deal with this tomorrow when we're all going to be more level-headed after we all got some rest. Like me, I know when it's time for me to just go to bed, go to sleep, because I'm half talking. I'm twisting up my words. I'm like, you know what? I got to go to sleep now because I don't even know what I'm talking about. And Q, I do think that is a possibility. I highly do think that is a possibility. That's why I said I titled this trending topic, Something's Missing. Something's missing. I do think that's a possibility because I just don't think that that's your first thought is this is what I'm going to do. And again, I will roll with a little bit of what Felicia is saying too, that unfortunately now, and I'm saying this just because this is all possibility, you don't know what people maybe have slipped in your drink.
Amen, sister. That's what you don't know.
You don't know. So you don't know that maybe it was all not being rational because on top of that, he had something that maybe didn't work well with his body because he looked yay big. And all of that sizing and everything, and if you're not used to drinking or you are used to or whatever, all that plays into these situations. So all I can say is that, any situation, we can all only control ourselves. And the good thing is with the parent and the kids, you know what? Because like I said, I had to learn how to shut my mouth. Because I be ready. And I had to learn, pause for a minute. Is it really that serious that you got to say how you feeling now because you feeling some kind of way now? And whatever you say out your mouth is probably going to sound some kind of way because you feeling some type of way. So now I learned how to pause, pray, and then I'll come back. And then sometimes the next day, I don't even need to talk about it. I'm like, it ain't even that serious. I'll just let it go. But everything, if you deal with everything in the moment in real time, it becomes bigger than what it needs to be because everybody's in their feelings. 48, I'm coming to you.
I just want to add one more thing. As you're talking about these situations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to name the cruise line, but they're known for having the number one thing children love and the number one place children love to go to. And I've had a couple of my friends do that cruise, and I'm going to tell you, it's loaded with predators.
I think I know which one. I think it's the only one I ever been on there. I always go. I think I know what you're talking about.
And let me be clear.
They call it the party cruise?
I'm not gonna.
Well, I'm not gonna name it.
I'm not gonna name it.
Uh-huh.
But they're known for wearing those costumes that those children love, those characters.
Oh, never
And there's
mind.
tons of predators in those costumes. Okay? They're everywhere. No place is safe.
Whew. And you know what, Felicia, you said something else I want to connect on. And I think I mentioned this the other day. I can't remember what story we was exactly talking about. But I said, no matter how old or young your kids are, you keep a foot, a toe, a finger, and you keep it up in their business to the day you leave. 48, you're up?
I went already, Diva.
Oh, you did? Okay. On this story? Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Tay, you're up.
I'll say this is sad right here because he is so young. He got a full life ahead in front of him. Cause all this foolery right here. I say this is my concerns for his family right here. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tay. Thank you. Julius, you're up.
As an avid cruiser, which I'm about to be going on my 4th cruise on Monday, this breaks my heart. But this is the second story that I read of a young man going overboard. The other was that young man, actually, Diva, you covered it on your panel. Unfortunately, and my heart goes out to the family, we know there's critters in the ocean. And like the other young man, remember him in spirit. I wanted to quickly pivot because I wanted to say, remember him in spirit. Remember him for the full of life that he was. And just know, this is my message to the family. He loves you always. I'm pretty sure that dad is probably beating himself up. He's probably going to be thinking his wife is going to divorce him and all that jazz. Because that could happen, unfortunately. Remember your son in spirit. I'm pretty sure he's like, Dad, I was being a dumbass and it cost me. But I'm pretty sure he loves that dad always. Would I like to know more information? Yes. But I wanted to be, for this story, very sympathetic because, unfortunately, this is becoming a trend. And my spirit tells me, and this is unfortunate, that this is not going to be the last story that we're going to hear. This is not going to be the last story. That's it. That's all.
Thank you so much, Julius. Katrina, you're up.
Condolences to the family. Um, I mean, anybody can go anywhere and do what they want to do, but I think it should be a cutoff when you seeing somebody inebriated, on a cruise ship. Getting drunk on a cruise ship is one of the deadliest things that you can basically do, especially when you don't know your bearings. And to have a person jump right in front of you, you can't do anything about it. To see that happen, I mean, that my heart really, really goes out to them. And the thing of it is, you still don't have a chance to bury your child, knowing that there's no body. So I think there should be a cutoff on these cruise ships, especially when you see somebody is just totally out of it, because anybody can sway and go over. And by him jumping 18 floors, his body, well, I mean, the fall alone took him out, even if he could swim, because that is a hard plunge, and your body can only sustain so much when it hit the water that way. He could have got paralyzed or anything and couldn't move to swim. But I just wish the family have a lighter heart. I wish peace come to them quickly, and they have my sympathy, even though they don't know me, but they have my sympathy. That's all I got.
Appreciate you, Katrina. Wayne, you're up. Wayne, are you there? I don't know, Wayne, if you're having trouble, I'm coming off of mute or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead, guys, and roll right into the feel good story. So just hold on 1 second, and we really need it. Wayne, do you want to speak?
Okay, I'm sorry, Diva. I was having some problem. You know, this sounds like a mystery. I'm just wondering. I mean, it could go. You know, if they check the insurance policy and see who benefits from this young man's demise, because it could have been a thing where we're going to take him on a cruise.
No, I don't want to go there, Wayne, because they clearly said that in front of the dad and the brother.
There was no foul play.
No, there was not.
Oh, okay.
There was not. Let me go ahead and roll right into this feel good story, guys. Hold on 1 second. Priceless friendship, wasn't it? I love it. So that one thing, that high five, triggered his memory back. And to God be the glory. What a blessing. When I came across this story, because I listen and look at many before I decide which one I'm going to show us for, this show. And maybe tomorrow, if Felicia doesn't mind, I want her to read this prayer she sent to me one morning. And it reminded me of that prayer, because in the prayer it says you have to have rip the roof off faith. If you come back tomorrow, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I felt like this friendship is like rip the roof off faith. They committed to each other to at least go see each other in person once a week, and we don't have to. It ain't even gonna be a whole lot of our time. We're gonna walk by each other, high five, keep it moving. You go home, I go home. We be with our families. We still do our thing. And when he lost his memory, and that high five, God, it's amazing what God does, right? That high five triggered back his memories. Just like that. Listen, guys, if you didn't hit the like button coming in, please hit the like button going out. I truly appreciate all of y'all being here with me. I'm almost at, what is my numbers? I'm forgetting my numbers now. I'm almost at 35K. And it's because of all of you. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. And thank you so much for coming through and spending your time with me Monday through Friday. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all next time for Trending Topics. Good night and goodbye, everybody.